What's up, control freaks? Welcome back to the channel. Les Alex here, and today we have some tournaments that just happened over the weekend, specifically the Nerd Rage Gaming Series 5 and 10K. The 10K was modern. That's what we'll be talking about in this video. In the next video, we'll be talking about the Pioneer 5K, which I played in. I didn't do so hot, but that's for another video as well. We're talking about the St. Louis Saturday 10K Modern Showdown in Collinsville, Illinois. Not actually St. Louis, Missouri. Fun fact. But yeah, this just happened over the weekend. And first live action, in-person modern set since MH3 came out. And wouldn't you know it, Nikachu won with Merfolk. Let's talk about this deck before we even get into anything. Who would have thunk it? Yes, it appears that the Modern Master came out, showed out, and just absolutely obliterated everyone. Now, of course, Modern Horizons 3 added Flare of Denial, the brand new, very powerful counter spell, and Sink into Stupor, which was actually a 4 of. Very, very good. And, of course, Harbinger of the Seas, a.k.a. Blue Moon, a.k.a. Mr. Free Winds. Yes, or Miss Free Winds herself. Harbinger of the Seas. So, Merfolk wasn't on my bingo card. Now, you can make the argument that it was pretty much a shoo-in to get better, but to win the first big tournament after the Modern Horizons 3 set had dropped, whew, I definitely didn't think it was going to happen. I did not think it was going to happen. Before we go any further, though, make sure to like, comment, and, of course, subscribe. Let me know what you think about these decks. And if you want to support the content, of course, you can become a member for less than a cup of coffee. You can support the content, get my videos early, and get access to some emotes. Anyways, let's go on to the second place deck that fell to the Merfolk deck in a pretty awesome fashion. I mean, pretty intense gameplay between the Jeskai Wizards, Jeskai Control. Yes, that's what got second. And shout out to Johnny Brissett, who is a local and I know very well. He's a good dude, but Johnny got second, tore up this tournament. He was actually 8-0 and then got to double draw into top 8 for this tournament. Now, this is very similar. If you watched my video on Izzet and Jeskai Control, Jeskai Wizards, those two videos, I'll put them up there somewhere. You can check those videos out. I'm not going to go into too great of detail, but the skinny of it is Flage Titan's Fury is legit. Snapcaster Mage, as they're saying, the return of the king is here, alongside Tune the Narrative, Galvanic Discharge, and, of course, the big one, Wrath the Skies, a reason to play the energy package. Wrath the Skies is legit. Payoff for this deck. You can go as little or as much as you want with this X, gain a ton of energy, and absolutely wrath the board, as it were. Tune the Narrative, the glue that keeps it all together. And Galvanic Discharge, just an amazing card that is sometimes better than Unholy Heat. Moving on to third and fourth place, we've got Bant Nadu. Now, this is a deck that coming into the weekend had a huge mark on its back. Had a big old target on its back because of Nadu, Winged Wisdom. Now, I did make a video about this deck as well, if you want to check that out, and kind of how these decks have changed over the last week. You definitely can. But the gist of things, this deck wants to get Nadu, Winged Wisdom out, and basically chain with Shuko and be able to draw your entire deck to where you get to Thassa's Oracle People. This is a pretty much known quantity at this part, and it was actually mentioned in the BNR report from today. I'm recording this on the 24th, so yeah, this is a known quantity, and Wizards has already stated in their BNR, no, this isn't Wing Nadu. Nadu isn't getting banned, but it is definitely on their radar. We will see if the metagame can find its way and actually contain this beast. And then in 4th place, we got Jeskai Control. And this is more of a, you know, what you are expecting to see out of Jeskai Control. We've got Solitude, Null Drifter, another new card, and Flage is here as well. The One Ring, Dress Down, Leyline Binding is here. And then we've got Consigned to Memory, Counterspell, Tune the Narrative, Galvanic Discharge, Sink into Super. This is, it's without saying, Modern Horizons 3 has changed the Modern format, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't think there's putting any toothpaste back in the tube at this point. You know, we are here, and this is the new Modern. However, saying that, Matthew Holderness, top 8s with good old-fashioned Living End featuring Ardent Plea to hit the Living End. Sink into Stupor is here, but we've got the Grief Subtlety package, along with all of the cyclers, including Architects of Will, the Curator of Mysteries, Waker of Waves, and Striped River Winder. So, yeah, who would have thought that that deck would be popping, not only popping up, but just top 8ing pretty much as it was. And then we've got Domain Zoo. Yes, this is kind of the only deck from the last Pioneer format that is not really changed by anything. We do have MH3 cards in the board with Meltdown and Consigned to Memory. But other than that, this deck remains unchanged. You want to get a Leyline down on turn 0. That enables your Scions and your Leyline Bindings. And, of course, it grows your Wild Nakados and your Nishoba Brawlers. But, yeah, we do have a Johnny. We do have a Johnny here. So, this card, I'm really liking the Flipwalkers. They're proving that Wizards is proving that they know how to design a Flipwalker now. All right, moving on to 7th place, we got Garrick Alford, who, shout out to Garrick, is in one of the Discords that I'm in, and we talk about a Control a lot, but Azorius Control, this is actual factual Azorius Control. Garrick top 8 at this event, and then the next day won the Pioneer event. So this is actual factual, you know, Control. We'd still have Wrath of the Skies because this card is absolutely busted. And other than not being able to, you know, not being able to get countered like Supreme Verdict is, Wrath of the Skies is the real deal. But we still have Leyline Binding, One Ring, Solitude, Subtlety, Narset, Teferi. We still got the fun of Days Undoing to banish all your opponents to the Shadow Realm with Narset. We've got Force Negation, Counterspell. And, yeah, this deck is, you know, still here. And when played well, one of the best decks in the Modern format. Moving on to 8th, we've got another Bant Nadu deck. And this is the same stuff. This one does have the One Ring in it as a 4 of. So, pretty interesting take there. That's pretty terrifying, actually, if you think about the One Ring with this busted Nadu combo deck. That rounded out top 8. But I do want to actually talk about a deck here that did get pretty high in the standings. At 20th place here, we've got Lantern Control. And if you are a long-time subscriber of my channel, you know I love me some Lantern Control. We got Lantern of Insight. Now it got 20th, okay? X and 2, I believe, was CJ's standings here. And CJ, actually, I know CJ. Good dude, great Magic player. And yeah, Lantern of Insight, Codex Shredder, Ensnaring Bridge. Of course, if you're a longtime Modern player, you know this deck. But if you're not, let me kind of explain what this deck tries to do. It is a control deck, after all. you know, the control freaks need to know about this deck, although it's not like we're countering your spells and wrathing the board. No, we're controlling your draw step because of this little 1 mana artifact. Each player plays with the top card of their library revealed, and then you can tap and sack it to make a player shuffle their library. So you want to get this down as early as possible. Thankfully, we have Urza's Saga. Urza's Saga is an excellent tool that goes and finds your Lantern of Insight, your Codex Shredders, your Vexing Baubles, brand new to the format, of course. You can also get Elixir of Immortality with it, gain some life. But basically what you want to do, get down Lantern of Insight, Codex Shredder, and then finally hit them with an Ensnaring Bridge. This deck likes to play all of its permanents. You almost rarely have a hand if you're playing, you know, and if you're in a winning position, I'll say. So, yeah, this deck uses Pixis, a Pandemonium. You rarely use that 7, but you just shred them. And by shred them, I mean you just mill them. How does this deck win? It literally just mills your opponents until they have no cards. And you basically control the top of their deck until they're out of cards. And if they ever play a card that could potentially stop you and stop your game plan, you can shred them, you can Pixis, and yeah, I mean, this deck is potentially very potent. It also plays the Ancient Strings, of course, because why wouldn't it? Inquisition and Thoughtseize are 2 awesome cards in this deck. We have Surgical and Abrupt Decay. Surgical is great because once you see something hit the bin that could potentially stop you, you can surgical it immediately and won't have to deal with it again. And then Abrupt Decay gets rid of a lot of very, very problematic cards. It is basically a green-black control deck. But holy smokes, we are playing Karn the Great Creator, which incidentally shuts down a lot of decks. So Karn the Great Creator is still here. Lantern Control, CJ, hey, congrats on the strong finish. And yeah, that is it for SC, and that is it for the NRG Championship Series St. Louis. Again, shout out to Nikachu on Merfolk for taking it down. And again, Johnny, if you're watching this, probably aren't. But hey, congrats again, my friend. Excellent win. I was rooting for you in the finals, but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. And then, of course, Garrick with the true blue Azorius Control. Love to see it. Azorius Control had a great weekend this weekend. But yeah, that's the video, folks. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoy the content, feel free to become a member here on YouTube, as folks, you know, for as little as, I think, $3 a month, get access to my videos. But yeah, I appreciate you all, and I will catch you all in the next video. Adios.